Ooh, that hurts. Ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at the appearance, the arrival of Victor Allen's new Sportz. That's right, the fan-based sports-centric show. That's right, written and directed by Victor Allen, the bald-headed black man, the man that the ladies have nicknamed Sexual Chocolate. Here he is. Gird your loins, put on your tight pants. It's time for new Sportz.
What's up, everybody? It's funny. It took long to get to this part, but I can't wait to play this part.
Because we couldn't find the appropriate religious music for you.
No, and I know you was trying to. I said, that's not the setup for sports. You got to give them something different. But, hey, I appreciate it because it's a damn good song by Mr. Simpson. All right, you guys, look, two subjects today on new Sportz. And you know new Sportz is my perspective is always new because I'm not a fan reporter. I'm actually the lead consultant for the fan reporting agency. No, I'm just lying. Hey, look, we do this way. We talk around sports the best way we can, and we do what we can with it. And we do the eye test. And the eye test is whatever we want to talk about. And today is going to be, of course, March Madness. But I'm not going to talk about the bracketology. We're going to talk about that 1 billion.
Was that a word?
Yes, it is. Bracketology, they're using it.
Okay.
They're using it.
That's the ology of the bracket.
Yes. We're going to talk about Warren Buffett's and Quicken Loans teaming up for the $1 billion, I guess you could say, offer if you actually get all the brackets right in March Madness.
Oh, that's right.
That'll be the second subject because the primary subject we're going to here is talking about athletes that turn actors and how successful, from our eye test, there's no data. I'm not bringing you no logistics or anything like that. The eye test from what you know and what you've been presented. And we're going to go down the list and see what impact they had. Were they even greater as actors? Or were they just more successful as an athlete? Or were they both equally successful? Or who really was even way more successful in acting, even though they were great in sports? So, we got 7 candidates. You ready for this, Mario?
I think I'm ready.
All right, we're going to take you to the first cat. Whenever you see commercials and you want to see muscles bulging, all you got to think of is Terry Crews. And when you say Terry Crews, just to give you a little something, maybe not quite as known for football. He was in football for about 5 or 6 years, but he wasn't what they call swag, big pimping in the league, which led him to be an actor. He has had a successful show, of course, nighttime, primetime show, of course, and he's also had commercials, and he's been in the Expendables and so on.
Chris Rock's dad.
You know what? You know I'm not saying anything. See, if you say that, I don't know that. Is that true?
Yeah, well, in the TV show.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay, yeah. As far as the role, yes. So Terry Crews is your number one. The impact. I guarantee you, Mark, you're going to say, I really didn't follow him in football, did you?
He'd be a little young to be Chris Rock's real dad.
Botox, man, Botox. All right, so any comments on Terry Crews? Your impact that you've seen from the eye test? No football at all, or just straight acting?
I thought he had. I was wondering, did he? I wondered because he looks like he would have played.
He played football in I'm not sure if it was a defensive line position or a linebacker. I think it was linebacker for 6 years, and then I think he went on to the CFL. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Stand corrected. But he didn't have that swag. He wasn't the name that you're going to remember. It didn't pan out well, and he just decided to give up. So just letting you know, more successful in acting, seems like right now. Go to the second young man, if you want to call it, Hulk Hogan. Now, Mario, you ever talk about a crossover from wrestling? Now, athletes, we're talking about WWE's athletes. They take a pounding. More successful as an actor, as a promotional product, or more wrestling?
That's kind of hard since wrestling is acting.
Come on, man.
But let's just say he's done so much in terms of merchandising. But again, with wrestling, pro wrestling, it's so hard to separate that out.
Right.
Because that's so much a part of what they do. But at least his ongoing persona and his reality show has been great. I have to say acting more, even though it's tied to wrestling, because he's actually been out of wrestling now
For
some time.
Right.
And it's continued.
Yeah, because he was really popular in the late 80s.
Yeah, he's continued.
Yeah, he was way back, but his merchandising.
Totally.
Wow.
So you got to be impressed with that.
I would say that his merchandising almost equaled what he did as the phenomenon. He had the dolls and everything made up, the toys, the images of him, and that tearing off the shirt, being one of the first, it's me. And he's bold enough to wear yellow.
I just wonder how he worked out that with the Marvel people who ferociously protect their brands.
Yeah.
And his use of the name Hulk.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I bet there was something that had to be worked out.
Yeah, I agree with you. I wish I had more information, but that's why I'm doing the eye test here, because this is going to be related to the time you're in. This is part one, you guys, because there is a part two. There are greater athletes going further back that had great success as well, but we're starting part one with
then
those.
if they way back, they didn't make no money.
Yeah, right. That's true.
There was no money.
Yeah, I know.
You got that Yang money.
Oh, that's cold, man. All right. Let's take you to the next. It's going to be interesting. Jason Statham, if you didn't know, professional diver. Yes. Olympics. Yes.
And they're not known. Professional divers are really usually not thought of as being very macho.
But since they are, and you know what, you got a good point on that one, Mark, because I would have never guessed this. I didn't follow him.
By the way, watching professional diving with your gay friends
why you want to go there, man?
It's a different
Why you go there? I'm just you wrapping this up that way.
I'm just saying.
You're supposed to keep it right here, athlete.
You get them. You get together with your gay friends and they ruin certain shows for you. I told them. I said, "Damn, you guys really ruined this for me this time."
Hey, let me say this. Watch this. Now, did you go back? Did you actually begin to watch diving, lose more interest, or gain more interest over time? Because the Olympics and world competition, the way they frame things, or the participants, how they deliver it, can make you pull you into it or not. I actually found myself moving away from it. I mean, when it first came out as a competition that I saw, I said, okay, cool, and then I just left it alone.
Well, you know what? They don't have the big figures, at least the standout name people, right? That they had before.
True.
But because I certainly don't remember him, and we say professional, he probably competed then.
Yes, he did.
And a number of things.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's amazing. That's part of why he's in such good shape, huh?
And the image. He has an image that's just amazing. You say when you can cross over and you not even reflect what you've done, because they don't try to show him all muscle bound and everything. But if you go look at the history, he was really in condition. I mean,
most of those swimmers,
no fat, nothing.
Yeah, they
off the chain.
That's like I said, they ruined it for me.
Let me go to the next one. I knew he was going to go there. Let's go to the next one. Our next selection, Chuck Norris. And you're talking about a guy, martial arts now, whether it's Taekwondo, all of them. He was professional and top of his game. This wasn't a guy who said, I got famous from Bruce Lee movies only. No.
And the thing is, it wasn't a money game like that.
It sure was.
He kind of made it. In a lot of ways, these are the pioneers of this types of marketing and branding. And as far as I know, other than Bruce Lee, and I think for a while he was bigger.
Right.
At least here in the but Bruce, still.
Yeah.
But still, that's an amazing accomplishment for him.
If you would have asked me, and only because and of course Bruce is going to be included within this whole competition we have here, or selection or evaluation, I would have thought Bruce because his staying power, and then he left us so early. But you would have never convinced me Chuck Norris would have had this long and staying power.
And a bunch of different products, too, that he's been a part of, associated with, in terms of weights, and other workout exercise gears and all those.
Man, you're talking about success story and away from TV, film, promotional. His image, they were joking about him the other day, and it was so funny, and I won't get a lot into it. They were doing parodies on him. He says, hey, when... It's like the greatest man in the world, when he doesn't get mad, everybody else gets mad because it's Chuck Norris they want to be. Mm-hmm. So he has this staying power that I have to give him a lot of credit. All right, let's go over to our next one. This keeps going. Remember the great Jim Brown?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I knew he's going to go.
Yeah.
I knew he's going to go.
I met him back then, and I met him many times.
Yeah.
very active man in the community.
Yeah.
And his activity, I think the first time had to do with the events they were doing to support Muhammad Ali.
Right.
That he was so much a part of that politically here in L.A.
Yeah.
And the Miss Black America, Miss Black California beauty pageants when they were then being organized.
Right. And many of us, being younger, I wasn't able to take advantage of seeing a lot of the movies that came out then. Of course, over time, you get to go back and look back, see the film, and you go, okay, this man had some roles. But was he still more on the athlete side than
they made pennies back then.
Right.
That poot butt contracts they had back then. He made way more. And also the money he made for other causes probably dwarfs his football money.
Got you. You got it. You hit the nail on the head. Time will tell. Let's go to the next. Interesting. You cannot say Terminator without thinking this man's name. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
The other N-word.
Okay.
Schwartz. So you can do a lot with that. Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, but you wrong.
Because a Schwarzer is another word for it, too. Anyway, Arnold, yeah. Wow, what can you say?
Former Mr.
He
Olympic,
made it.
Mr. Universe.
No, he
top
made
of
it,
his
man.
game.
These are the people who made it. He made it happen.
It crossed over from probably right now, I would say, standing right now, having the biggest blockbuster film of any athlete known that I know right now, unless I start going to look back carefully. Far as it means concurrently.
Probably the number one athlete in film of all time.
Yeah.
And imagine that at one point in time, people were thinking that his accent and all that would be an impediment.
Right.
Now he's hasta la vista, baby.
Right.
I mean, look how he took and made this was supposed to be an impediment. And it's become one of his signature things is now his accent and his way he speaks.
And
I'll be back.
He's got something that, of course, short of having the presidency, hit politics.
He married a Kennedy.
Hit politics. He's also been a former Olympic, Mr. Universe, and he's had successful blockbuster films. Got to give it to the man. Didn't see this coming. It's going to be interesting. There is somebody who competes with him in a different time zone, though. Let's go to the next. Our next one this is going to be interesting. Oh man, don't tell me the pick didn't come out. I'm gonna have to say his name, or I'm gonna have to leave him for tomorrow. Then
maybe it'll come up.
I'm gonna leave him for tomorrow, unless I tell you who it is, and you're going to know because the name is being displayed. I can tell you who it is, or I can save him for part two.
Well, I mean,
let's go part two. I'll leave him for part two. These are the guys that we're looking at right now, and we're going to decide who is number one, and I think we've already covered it, and I think it's closer than most people think. You got Chuck Norris, longer time in the business. You got, of course, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Terry Crews. You got some others in there that you may consider, but Mara, we're going to go down and find out who you think crossed over even better in film and TV than they did as an athlete. More success. Let's take it down the list and see who your number one, number two, and number three is. Let's go on down the list and roll back to the pictures real quick. At the top, you had Terry Crews. We already decided actor, film, not much in the athlete zone because he wasn't as successful. We go over to the next. We look at Hulk Hogan. Really successful. Mario did put an asterisk, says it is acting. But they do go pain and punishment on practice.
Yeah, that's like acting and acting.
Right.
And acting.
Okay, that's cold. All right, you got Jason Statham. Mario didn't follow. Many of us didn't follow because he was really it was more in Europe, in the European competitions as a diver. Then we go on to the next, which is Chuck Norris, who we all know, if anyone, it's almost like Born in the USA man without the voice. So he's been successful. And then, of course, the next, Jim Brown, who everybody would like to have been in the film with Raquel Welch back in the day. Mm-hmm. Still the number one probably rated running back of all time. I don't know. We know the success over the film wasn't as much. Kind of easy to do. And then, of course, we go to Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's kind of easy who your number one is it?
Oh, yeah. Arnold.
Number two, is it easy? Chuck?
At this point,
Hulk? Now think about it. I know that.
See, Hulk Hogan is really the one if you don't count the acting thing.
See, I know. See, it's that part about being successful from one medium. And you're right that there is some acting, but they do, Mario, go through. Their practice is more painful than the actual.
Yeah, they all those steroids. The thing where they lost in scrotum space.
I'm trying to give them credit.
Those little micro nuts have to take all those steroids for those years.
All right, so Arnold's by himself. Who's your number 2?
My number 2 would be Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan. Number 3?
Chuck Norris.
Cool. There, you went the same route I did. This was an easy do. I was just trying to see what the eye test.
Jason has not been around long enough, but what's interesting is that you have to kind of watch how you compare them because the monies are so different. What they get for a film now,
right,
and what they used to get paid as an athlete then.
That's right.
Come on. Come on.
And you know what? And probably in part 2, you're going to see that people had a lot of exposure. They may have not transcended as in the money value. But I wanted to get the eye test on this. And I kept looking at Arnold, and I said, my God, man. Dude, you went to another level. Blockbuster film. I didn't think of it that way. All right.
I mean, because the Terminator series... by them, and he's got other ones that are big money makers that are like that, right?
Right. He's got others
that are big.
Predator.
Yeah.
I mean, Expendables. You got Eraser. You got all those films.
The Predator one was probably big.
Yes. So the man has been there.
And he did the ones he did that did well, actually, where he was like the kitty cop or whatever was that?
With Danny DeVito.
Yeah, all of those did well.
The man had, you go and look at it, you go, man, he really had a more successful acting career that overshadowed him getting awarded the top bodybuilding person at his time on the planet. So the man, he's been there. All right, we're going to talk about what Mario would do if he fills out this bracket that's being offered up as a $1 billion challenge. And the challenge is that there's going to be the perfect bracket. You can guess, you submit all the teams that win throughout the whole bracket till the final. You get $1 billion. Are you submitting, Mario, to this competition?
Where can we submit?
That's right.
We can't submit. Everybody on TV is submitting, obviously. I'm listening to all these folks give their predictions all the way through because they are giving their predictions.
That's right.
And but I sure wished we could. There's no links here to.
No. I didn't want to even get in there. The only reason why I didn't want to do that is because I was actually trying to find out how will they. Well, I know how they're going to. They'll be able to weed it out. Wonder if multiple people.
How they? Because I don't know how they're. How are they monitoring this?
See, that's what I was about to ask you. But they did. They've done this before where somebody has filled out all the brackets, and it's usually a non-sports person who's guessing. It's somebody who really doesn't follow it. Somebody's going to win this.
Usually it's somebody's girlfriend who picks them based on the color of their uniform.
Right. It won't be anyone like you or I who follow. So, for the most part, I say thumbs up on this. Way to go. I'm submitting my form. I'll give you that information tomorrow because it wasn't much available where to submit it. That's why I didn't have it.
Yeah, because I'll try.
I know you will.
$1 billion, what's it cost? It's $1,500 to enter. Oh.
That's it.
Shit.
Okay, no more S words. I'm done, man. Let's get out of here so I can get to the next one, which is Hot Picks. Got to do it.
Get ready. Wham! Oh, wake up! It's time for sports. You hit your head. That's right. Put on your helmet, gird your loins, put on your sneakers, and run around and act like you exercise. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's not enough just to wear the jersey of your favorite team. You must impart up to yourself that swagger. Yes, you too could be a Pittsburgh Steeler. Come on. Yes. Yes. Get you some steroids online. Start beefing up.